Jordan Renan had a story this week on ESPN, just kind of talking about the Giants quarterback options, and we'll come at this from a few different angles, just kind of how we took it. Let me see if I can get the story up in the
No,
meantime.
I'm calling it up too. It's one of these classic. He wrote a story for ESPN about what are the Giants going to do at quarterback, which obviously it's the most important thing that they have to do. Um, and he started listing Shador Sanders and Cam Ward. They have the number 3 pick in the draft or whatever. And then he started listing all the free agents. And he said Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields. And then he added a paragraph that said, the trade avenue could also be an option. The future of Derek Carr in New Orleans is one that could come into question. Nothing should be ruled out. He was just covering all the bases. The Giants need a quarterback. Here's all the ways you can get a quarterback this year. It was not a report that the Giants have contacted the Saints to trade for Derek Carr. So, but it gets retweeted, repackaged as Giants could be interested in Derek Carr. I really doubt it. Not that the Giants wouldn't have interest in him. If the Saints cut Derek Carr, I think he could leap to the top of the field of the Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo options out there. He's due $40 million, and you would have to give up a draft pick. I don't see a team trading for him. And on the flip side, trading him does not help the Saints. Trading him and cutting him are almost identical against the cap. The other team would pay his $10 million roster bonus. That's the only benefit. Maybe you get a day 3 draft pick too. So you'd rather do that than cut him, but that does not bail the Saints out of this either. This feels very, very, very long shot as one of the Saints' possibilities with Derek Carr to me.
He has a no trade clause as well, so you have to waive that to make it happen. And we've seen in the past that he wouldn't waive it for the Raiders. So like I don't know why he'd waive it for the Saints at this point. Um, maybe I'm sure teams around the league at some point somebody will probably make a call to see just really if it's feasible. I don't know if he's an attractive trade asset, but if you're a team desperate for a quarterback, he's somebody that feasibly, just like Jordan came to the conclusion, hey, this is a name that, this guy could move on. I'm sure there's teams sitting around saying, hey, should we see if he's available? Like if you're attracted to him or whatever. If you're one of those teams that feels like you're on the cusp, I could see some calls coming in. So I'm not ruling it out as a zero possibility, but as somebody who writes stories for a living, I just know what it looks like when you're like, hey, this is something that could be out there. I'm going to throw it in. Like if we started writing a story today, on January, before anything's even taken shape around the league about here's how the Saints could get a pass rusher. It's their top priority. These are the guys in the draft. This guy could become available. Oh, there's rumors out of Tennessee. This guy could be a cap casualty. Like, those are the things that you just kind of put in there. It didn't read to me like, hey, I have heard that the New York Giants have called about Derek Carr. The story of the structure would have been completely different. It would have been, you don't start with all the rookies, all these other options, and then the very last thing you list. Again, I've written stories where it's informed speculation, and just the structure of it looks a little bit different to me. I don't study everything Jordan writes. One of the best reporters in the league. Very possible he's heard something. All I can say is, we share 100% of what we hear. That's 100% all the time of everything of what we hear. You don't need to ask us if we've heard something. If we've heard it, we'll tell you. We have not heard this.
Yes. But look, I do think also if you're hoping this is a way out for the Saints, it is worth, like, you still take the dead money cap hit. The $50 million dead money cap hit would become a $40 million dead money cap hit if they take the $10 million roster bonus. But trading him away does not make that all go away. So there's no, hey, we'll pay most of his salary. Hey, we'll give you a higher draft pick. There, like, trading is not that much better than cutting. So
Yeah, it's not a Brock Osweiler thing. You can't do the Osweiler. Yeah.